concrete. And jigsaw, expert jigsaw, and group jigsaw. This is some way very interesting when the students learn, some kind of complicated things. And you divide the knowledge into different parts and group them. And each group is in charge of one part. And when they finish, they can use them kind of, that is a kind of device. We always call that mnemonics. Yeah, mnemonics devices, and let them use any way they express, they reflect what they have learned. And also here, we can see levels of questions from Bloom's taxonomy. I will not spend time here because I explained about that. And also please remember the 5 steps question process. When the teacher asks question and you want to get the answers, post the question first and then give time to the student to think first. And then let them discuss with the group members. And then you use the random call cards to call them to share the answers in the class. And the last step is open the floor. That means let the students who are not called to share their ideas. So these are 5 steps. Make sure you get the students' responses, definitely. And also for other teaching strategies, for example, we can use direct teaching. We use concept attainment. This is a kind of deductive thinking level. And then Taba inductive method. Those 3, especially 6 and 7, really take time, but very good to improve the students' thinking levels. So this is another way you explain to their supervisors or other people about how you improve your students' thinking levels, critical, creative. And then, next step, you will organize content. Of course, you choose content and then organize them according to different orders, maybe from easy to difficult levels. That is not hard for you to choose contents. I don't think that is a challenge for most of teachers. So I will not spend time here. But I told you about the different sequence of curriculum preparation, development. And most of the time, we choose the content first. And then we choose learning experiences, and then we combine them, mix them together. But why? My way is different. I choose the strategies and then insert content over there. So I just would like to share one of my lesson plans. You can see here. And in the beginning, the use of music is a kind of cooperative learning technique, because in the beginning we used or break time or their homework time, classwork time, we use kind of softer music, can comfort their feelings, their emotions. So this is the use of music in the class. And remember, that is kind of relaxing and soft music. Do not use kind of yes. And then, just for success, of course, this is a kind of techniques and positive assignments, posting assignments. So I would like to explain about this first. Why? In the beginning, before the students come, we don't want them to come and talk to each other and ignore your directions. And I always post assignment on the board. And as soon as they come, they go to their seats and start work on the assignment. They will not talk to each other or make noise anymore, and they are waiting for your class. So this is the one way I control my class. And then we can see, of course, as teachers, it's better to greet the students, call their names, and they feel, they are close to you, they are respected, and they are valued in your class. And then we have kind of ball tossing. This is a kind of way for icebreaker for the first class, let them know each other. And then you can see here, questioning. We have the steps for questioning. Why do you choose to learn Chinese? So just a kind of icebreaker. I use think, pair, share. Turn to your neighbor, randomly call cards, and open the floor. Different structures. You can see just for one question. I can use different strategies, structures. And then components of Mandarin. Let them learn about the components. I will think, pair, square. So not pair, share. It's a little different from the previous one. And random call card. And then I use a little bit lecturing for PowerPoint for the new knowledge, new content. So this is the week I choose learning experiences first and then insert the content. That means this is a kind of teaching strategy driven preparation of curriculum. And then the next, we have everything. Now we start to implement. That means we start to teach. And we use what we designed, what we prepared, and then we observe through, asking students questions and observe which part is effective, which part is not effective, what adjustment we need to make next time if we teach the same class, or if we need to make some changes in another class. So we do this during the teaching, involve the students, and we summarize our experiences and ways and make sure we can be more professional experience in this area. So I will not talk more about this. The last one is evaluation and feedback. How about how do we evaluate our students? If they really learn and how much they learned from my class. Of course, we can use kind of final exam, we can use quiz, we can use project, all of these things to evaluate them. But how about the feedback? For the feedback, first, if we feel very successful in our teaching, how many minutes I have? No more? Okay, so let me finish this. And for the feedback, we can use reflective journal. Ask students 3 questions. What's going on in this class? What improvement we need to make? And then any comments to check their thinking, their learning. So, and I prepared some, maybe not here, not this one. I prepared some activities, but no time. So you don't have to do this if there's no time. It is question time. Welcome your questions and discussion. Any questions? Okay, maybe I need to give them time to, yeah. You have question, okay. Oh, doesn't matter. But question time is important too, so we can omit this part, doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, please.
Yes, my question has to do with in Thailand here, most of the students, especially the government schools, their level of understanding when it comes to English is very low. And for a class to be very interactive and for you to know that you are imparting knowledge, you should know that they are understanding what you're doing. So in such a case, it's always like you have to do talking more because they cannot express themselves. How best do you think we can go about it? At the end of the lesson, you feel that what you're teaching them, they would get to understand it better, coupled with the fact that they don't understand English the way you want them to understand the topic better. How do we go about that?
That is really a challenge for most of teachers. Of course, students are not good at English. That's why we need to change our, ways to teach. And especially we use simple words, of course. And at the same time, we just give them assignments with pictures or something else and let them observe. Students, they observe and then they figure out. Even if they don't really understand, and you just give them, simple directions and give them some samples, positive sample and negative sample. This is about, and then they will understand very soon. Because you keep talking, they don't understand. You just give them some kind of, pictures or, and also you post the questions on the screen. And they cannot speak well or listen well, but they can read better than listening, or they have dictionaries to check. And then they will learn. Even if they use their dictionary to check, they will learn.
Yeah. Can I continue on what you've said? Based on my experience in Thailand, I'm also not a Thai native speaker, though I speak the language. It started with that. As a teacher in Thailand, you become like a clown. You do everything just to comprehend the student, and the student will comprehend back to you. That's the best way you can do it. It's like, for example, you want to talk. Things like that. Very simple things, but if they think that, oh, this teacher is funny, so I like this teacher lah. Do I advise to learn language? It's an advantage. Though you don't really need to, because so many Thais are now able to speak in English, very good ones. When I first came in here, very few people speak the language. But now time goes, I've been here for 32 years, so yes, I've been here for 32 years, so I can see that how Thailand evolves. Yes.
Yeah. So there's something I would like to add. Second language is for kids, of course, for young learners. Second language is not learned by them. It is acquired by them. That means, they don't understand those rules, grammars, or all of the things, but they observe and they understand. They cannot describe why they understand, but they understand. That's why I said you use, simple words and sign language and give them positive examples and give them kind of visual support with pictures or, structures over there. And then they observe and they will understand some, try to go over there, and then you just encourage them. Okay, yeah, the lady.
Okay, please, I want to know where you can apply teaching from known to unknown. When you are teaching the students, when are you going to start from the known to unknown in the classroom?
Oh, what do you mean? Sorry, I got...
Is it also part of Bloom's taxonomy? Like teaching from, let's say, you want to teach about cycle. Maybe students know the day and night already. They have idea about that.
Okay.
So you start from there, then you base on the new one. So known to the unknown one. Do you understand?
Known?
What she's trying to say is like, how do you explain to the student that the student already have an idea of the specific subject matter? However, the lesson is very new to the student. However, that idea, that kind of idea, like for example, the water cycle, They already have idea.
A water cycle?
Yes, but then how are you going to explain the unknown? For example, let me get an example for something that is not familiar with a student that will apply in the same specific idea, the water cycle. Like for example, how clouds. I think that's what you mean, right? How clouds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Becomes
how water
rain?
becomes rain, and how rain goes down, how that water goes up, something like that.
Visual assistant pictures, and or you make PowerPoints, or you make some kind of cartoon, or it's better if you can find videos, cartoon videos about that, so they will learn. I said, students, they acquire those things. They do not learn. Can you imagine? Yeah, please.
If I understood what she said, really, she meant when you were preparing the curriculum, you made mention of the content, let's say the stages, how you design, you implement, you evaluate, you get a feedback.
Yes.
So, at what level is the unknown, from the known to unknown, can be placed at these particular stages? Where can it be placed? That is from known to unknown. At which stage can we classify that one when we are preparing the curriculum? At which stage can we put that one? Is it the content? Is it design? Is it implementing? Is it evaluating? Is it a feedback? Where exactly can we place?
You want to make sure how they transfer from known to unknown.
Yeah, where can it be
Acquisition,
placed?
that is a kind of from known to unknown, that is a kind of acquisition. So, in fact, this is a challenge because it's hard to check this. That's why I would like to suggest you use kind of response. You design questions. Remember I said, and check their understanding. And also you give them project to kind of try to, like mnemonics, try to repeat, reflect
say it, but is there any way that we can help the students to know their goal of learning the English language so that they can make it part of the courses or the subject they are learning in school, and make it something they want to know, they want to learn, or something that they can use it in future to benefit themselves and the country or the community as a whole. Is there any way that we can do it? Because they don't have a goal of learning the English, to my what I've observed so far.
Yeah, it is really a challenge for teachers to, reach the goal, because, like you said, 7% of the students kind of local and they have no language ability for that, right? This is something. That is a challenge for every teacher, even for any specialist. But we just, use some ways. For example, in this situation, I will not keep teaching them. I will group them into different groups. But in anywhere, some students' English ability is better than others. So divide them, and in one group, assign a better English language learner over there. Let them help each other, support each other. And also you have to, assign their roles, take turns as speakers, writers, recorders, or, social person. So this is the way so far, because I studied this. This is the way I learned to help the students in such situation. But, we do not have very effective way to solve the problem, because but we can do something and make a difference. Make some efforts. Thank you. This is not the last question? Okay.
No, not a question, a contribution to the question. What I know is Thai students, they like games a lot. If you want Thai students to learn in your class, some of the topics, change them to games. Like, okay, if I'm teaching fruit, after teaching, then we bring the flashcards, listen and choose the correct. Then you divide them into boys and girls and you give them the scores. I will tell you, they will not talk. They will pay attention in all the subjects. So if you want to catch their attention in classroom, play games. Thank you.
Thank you.
Based on my experience as well, many schools in Thailand, every schools have different ways of actually working on with the students. At my first school, it was Thai school. So most of the classroom activities like gamification. So it's based on games, like what you said. They don't talk, but the level of understanding inside, they're actually high.